back, everyone, to Brilliant Minds.
Hello!
Surprise! Andre is visiting me, and we are doing our first podcast in person together, which is like really exciting.
Yeah. We definitely had to makeshift some things in here.
So if this recording's a little bit different or off than the usual pristine level of quality,
crisp.
Yeah, then you know why.
Yeah, but you won't get those weird pauses because of virtualness. Because now we're in person. Now we can just in-person vibe off of each other. So
yeah, because we normally don't vibe at all.
Not at all.
Yeah,
you are in for an extra treat.
Yeah, for real. Today we are, although it's technically a little early when we're recording this, but when it comes out, we will be celebrating our 1-year anniversary of being in business together.
Woo woo!
Which is
we
amazing.
did it!
Oh my gosh. I don't know about you, but that first year flew by.
Oh yeah. It still doesn't feel like it's a year.
Yeah. I feel like the first 6 months, didn't count.
No. I mean, it kind of didn't. But
that's real. They kind of did.
But they did. I mean, we got clients right away. We had clients the next week that we were able to kind of launch and do our thing.
Yeah. I will say too, we had a little bit of a gradual build, so I don't feel like it was all at once, but I feel also generally we've been incredibly fortunate. We haven't really had to do a lot of marketing.
No.
Which I think privilege-wise is probably the greatest privilege a therapist could have.
Oh, yeah.
Is not really themselves.
Yeah.
I hate marketing myself.
It's really hard, and we don't get taught how to do it in school, logistics-wise.
Right.
And then we don't really, that's not why we're here, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, and it feels kind of, we've talked about this on the podcast before, it feels disingenuous or weird, and it doesn't feel natural, and so we've been extremely fortunate that we really haven't had to market.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, and whenever we've been oh man, we really love some more clients or some more supervisees, we've just magically always
they just pop into our inbox.
Yeah, literally, it's
it's the therapy gods are blessing us all the time.
Yeah.
There's I feel that's a really high privilege that we have, and I don't think I could ever imagine being able to be that therapist before being here. Because I think I was always at a group or community mental health, and they were just here's your clients. And now actually getting to see that what I'm putting out there, what you're putting out there is bringing people in is wild.
Yeah, that's so cool. Because we have gotten a lot of compliments on our website. I'd be oh, I really love this or this, and I really connected with it, or oh, I love that logo or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think one of the things that I realized recently that I get hung up on that you're good about pushing me past is I'm always wanting to have things perfect or set before we start something, or having just as much set about a thing as possible, which is that is not a realistic goal when you're launching a business.
Right.
And so I think that's something I've learned along the way is don't wait until you think you have it perfect. If you have somewhat of a plan, try it, and then if it doesn't work, that's fine, and just regroup and try again. Yeah. But I'm really glad that you pushed me in that way, because I think I'd have a really hard time launching.
Yeah.
Because I'd be well, I want to have it all figured out. I want it all to be perfect, and you're no. I'll just change it later if it doesn't work. And I'm
exactly.
Yeah. We can do that.
Yeah, and then we're gonna change it later anyways, right?
Right.
A lot of what we're doing and what we're creating, which maybe we can talk a little about that at some point, what we're creating and the company that we're building because of what we're gonna talk about today.
Yes. But first, what do you love about me?
Everything. The salmon bowls you made for dinner tonight. The fact that you just had sprinkles in your pantry.
I have an obscene amount of sprinkles in my pantry.
No. In all seriousness, though, you know how I push you with the creative side and not necessarily flexibility, but that kind of piece, right?
It's okay, you can say it.
You push me on the structure side, right? And it's I need that, and I think that's where our neurodivergences are opposite in a lot of ways too, and work super well together. And I think that's why my husband and I fit really well together, because he's very logical and structured. So I need that in my life. I am a creative person. I will just flail
go do
until
all the
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why we've grown so well is because you have that structure piece, I have that like flexibility, creative piece, and we just kind of like flow with that together.
Yeah, I think we make a really good fit. I mean,
we've known this for a long time.
Well, no, I know, but like, it's so funny because, you know, we talked about like we never imagined ourselves in private practice, and then here we are both in private practice, but we're doing it together.
Right.
Like, I would have never imagined I would have had a business partner.
Yeah, no, me neither. And what's funny is like thinking back on our old job, there were multiple people that told me, I don't know if they ever told you, like...
a ton.
Yeah, when are you and Olivia leaving? And it wasn't the same people every single time. It was like different people constantly that were like, you and Andrea need to go like build your own business. Like, you guys are doing something.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, it's like too hard. And here we are just like crushing it. Olivia figured out how much we were like pulling in financially a month, which like, I know it's not about the money. But when you said that, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait. This is a thing. Like, we can actually do this.
Yeah. No, I know. Also, like, shout out to my brain for, like, finally realizing I should probably check that.
Well, especially because we were always like, I wonder how much our old job is pulling in, and we never could figure it out. And we're always so frustrated with that. And now it's like, oh, we have that.
We know.
We know. It's right there.
We just forgot that we could know, which the level of irony is too
I
good.
I know. And maybe it's trauma. I don't know, but...
It's like, oh yeah, we actually have the power. Wild. That's wild.
We do. Having the power feels real good.
Yeah. I mean, so now we've kind of like gotten a little bit off track to what we were actually going to talk about today. So I'm going to...
Should we give backstory?
Yeah.
Should we tell our story?
A little bit, yeah. Okay. So our part of celebrating a year being in business, yay, means that we are finally a year free from our previous employment contract.
Yes!
Which is super lovely.
Yeah.
So kind of backstory on that. And if you're in the field, you're probably pretty familiar with these types of clauses and contracts. Mm-hmm. But if you're not, buckle up, you're about to get educated a little bit.
Yeah.
So... in the field, there's oftentimes a lot of clauses in employment contracts, whether you're a 1099 contracted person or you're a W-2 employee, about kind of a lot of things. But the main things are that there's a non-compete clause. Mm-hmm. And if you're not familiar with like a non-compete clause, I feel like you probably would be better at describing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, to preface too, non-competes are not admissible anymore. They have been deemed illegal. You can't have them anymore, which is extra fun. But non-competes are basically a clause in your contract where you can't take your clients or you can't take employees from your current job into your next job, carry over your work. It's basically to prevent, copyright infringement, stealing people's money, like taking their income.
Right.
It's kind of a trap, if I'm being honest. So
in this field.
Yeah, when they've taken it away for all fields because it is so, there is so much entrapment in that, and you can it's only admissible if you make, over $300,000 a year, which is bananas, but that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're probably have trade secrets or,
Exactly. We don't have trade secrets. We're therapists.
Wish we did. Yeah.
I do.
And in our field, how non-competes show up is that, hey, if you leave a practice, you can't take your clients.
Yeah.
Which is just... wild to me on such so many different fronts, because if you're working with clients and people truly care about clients, the continuity, all the work that you've done, not taking them with you or giving, at the very least, giving yourself as an option for them to continue with if you move on is absolutely ludicrous to me.
Completely.
Just completely ludicrous to me. I even heard of a place where they charge you a fee for taking your clients with you. You could take your clients with you, but you pay.
I don't like that.
I know. I was like, that's also wild. I'm not liking that.
No, I mean, it definitely goes against a section of our code of ethics, which is continuity of care and appropriate referral processes and things like that, termination of clients. That's not okay.
Right. Yeah, totally. So. And so that's one fun clause in employment contracts. And then the other fun clause is the non-disparagement clause, which is what has kept us
quiet. I have a hard time being quiet.
I wouldn't say quiet. I would say calculated.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely have not been quiet when I'm not on camera. That's
no.
for certain.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the idea that we can't say anything badly or affect any level of business that your like past company or like the current company that you're leaving could garner, which like, and for a year, which is like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like all of it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, our year flew by, so...
It did. It really did.
Now we're let loose.
So we thought it would be kind of like fun to do kind of like as a way of celebrating being a year in our business of like, hey, let's talk a little bit about our experience being in group practice, what we've also seen in group practice, because we've seen a lot of different structures and a lot of wild out there. And like just kind of talk about what to look out for when you're entering the field or like things to know.
Yeah.
Because we have seen a lot and we've been through like the ringer when it comes to like going to a group practice and then having to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have experience supervising people in some of those other structures that we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know, to put
There's
it short.
very few good. That's the unfortunate piece.
This is true. This is true. And I think what's, you know, as we're talking about this, what really breaks my heart is that the beginning of our last job was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it.
Like...
It was great.
It was perfect.
I never thought I would leave.
No.
Neither... We talked about that.
Yeah,
neither of us wanted to leave.
No. It was like, this feels great. We have someone that does our insurance billing. I had benefits. Like, I know you didn't need them, but like...
I had 401k.
Yes, we had a 401k, which like, I know we'll have to get to that at some point, but we had all those...
Most importantly, we had 401k matching. That's like, that's the big piece.
It was good matching.
Yeah, it was good matching.
I was like, okay, bud. Great. And we had great employees.
Yeah. Well, because we were in charge of hiring them. So if we didn't like them, that would be kind of on us.
Yeah. And like, we built ourselves up. We like got promotions and like ended up in a role. And even the roles at the beginning were really great. They were so fun.
Yeah.
And then things got real.
Yeah. Things got
really real.
Things got real. And just like weird. I think generally group practices have a lot of trouble scaling properly. And I think one of the things that we weren't really in control of was how much we were growing. And we grew like way too quickly.
Yeah.
And then there were also aspects of like adding on to the company, like in other states that we just like weren't in charge of and had no control over, but we both knew were bad ideas and like were not going to be worth the money.
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot of parts of the practice that we didn't have control over, but like just were kind of goofy and like just started causing a lot of like, I don't know, just like stress, like undue stress.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I've seen this a few times recently, like in my looking up about group practices, and I've seen some posts on Instagram about like red flags in group practices.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the number one things is companies that scale super quickly.
Yeah.
Right? And you and I never would have known that until we saw that happen. And we did see that happen.
Yeah, we did.
And it was...
And we like tried to cap it too.
We did, yeah. And we advocated so hard for so much throughout the whole process that it was like really frustrating. And I think that was kind of one of the turning points for us, was like we're trying so hard.
Yeah. I think for me, a lot of it was just like continuing to have the same conversation over and over and over of like, hey, like this doesn't make sense. Or like, hey, like, you know, I can't think of like a really good example of like, I'm going to think of like, I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, and for context too, Olivia and I were basically like at the same level. We had essentially the same job. We were just in charge of different sections of the company, like different groups of people. Yeah. So we basically did the same thing, just like they looked different because I worked with students and you worked with licensed people for the most part. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we kind of like shared oversight of the supervisors, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would be like, so to me, I think there's a couple of things in that, which is like, if you're looking at a group practice, look at like how long they've been around and look at how big they are and like look at how they scaled, basically.
How many pages of therapists do they have?
Right. Yeah. And then like the other thing I would think in conjunction with that is just like this idea of, because this is often, I think, I don't want to like disparage people. I think if I were to do it again, this is something I would look for. I think if I knew this like a couple of years ago, I would have been like, oh, okay, like, yeah, that matters, but like, I don't have time to worry about that. But like, I would want a lot more transparency about like where the money is going.
Yes. I agree with that 100%.
Of like, okay, you have all these people and you're making all this, but like, I generally kind of want to know, okay, like, what's the overhead like? Or like, how much is the owner actually kind of like generally making? Or like, if the company is growing, what's the goal?
Right.
Or like, what's the benchmark? Or like, are you working towards adding these certain things? And like, how close are we to adding those things?
Yeah.
And so just like having a lot more transparency about like where the cash flow and like the structure are both going together.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of practices do that.
No, and I think even beyond that, transparency about finances just in general, including pay scale, payroll, like what does that look like, right? Because that was something at the beginning that we struggled to really advocate for too, which was like appropriate, healthy, ethical pay scales, you know, really like supporting people on getting their bonuses, like, or their raises every year, or when they needed them, when they got licensed. And that's something that should be transparent, right? Like, and I think especially in this field, when we work with insurance companies, like, for the most part, when you're getting paid by an insurance company, it's this almost the same.
It's fairly standardized.
It's fairly standardized, that, like, why can't it be transparent, right? Like, why are we not being transparent about that? Like, I know that there's some weird insurance limitations, but... we all know, so...
Yeah, like, we know general ranges. It's not, like, rocket science or something like that.
No, for real.
Yeah, and especially, too, like, if... kind of in conjunction with that, if you're looking at a group practice and they have a lot of like interns, I would really like take a close look, because interns ultimately are free labor. And so if a group practice has a ton of interns and they're still not like paying well or have good benefits or whatever, then I'd really be like, okay, where is the money going?
Totally.
Like, where is the money that the interns are creating? Where is it going? Because like, what?
Well, and I think to bounce off of that too, like, how are they guaranteeing caseloads with that too? You know, because what we saw was like the faster we scaled, the more we scaled, the slower the client intake felt.
Yes.
Right? And it wasn't...
And like, but also like the more variable it was.
Yes.
Which like some people did get a bunch of clients and had no problem.
Right.
But other people like really struggled.
Right.
And so like we had a little bit of an issue. Like, we had an issue and it kept continuing, but it was still variable. So it was, like, super unpredictable. So
I think, like, that's something to look for when you're going to a group practice is, like, how are you getting clients? How are they, like...
How are they supporting you in marketing?
How are they supporting you? What happens if you don't get any clients? Like, what do they do? Because that happens.
Oh, 100% it happens, And if places are, like, promising you a bunch of clients, or they're like, oh, we get this many referrals a day, and blah, 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 or, like... oh, I've had a clinician build up in a month and like all this, I would very much take it with a grain of salt and still plan like you're going to build a caseload slowly and like go into it with that and ask those questions and like really advocate, because generally in group practices you're getting paid by the hour, you're not salary. So if you're not seeing clients, like you're not getting paid. So like caseload building is just as important in group practice as it is in private practice. So like...
I think, you know, another thing, I don't think we necessarily, like, witnessed this a lot, but, like, what's turnover rate like? In community mental health, that's really important to ask about, like, how often are people turning over employee-wise? And I think that's a really important question for associates out there looking at going into group practice is, what's your turnover of supervisors? Like, I think there was a moment where we had some weird, like, supervisor turnover or, like, moving around that we had to do, and it was... so stressful.
It was,
And that's important too. Like if a group practice has supervisors turning over, or if they don't actually have supervisors.
Oh my gosh,
that's a problem.
And I've seen this a lot where they will have supervisors and they will promise a certain amount of frequency. Or be like, oh we're planning to get a social worker. Or like, oh like, totally, we can support your licensure, like you can do it weekly. And it's like, well, that person is, you know, one supervisor for like 20 people, you're maybe getting like once a month and it's group. Or something, right? And so definitely when you think about asking questions around supervision, it's like, get that stuff in writing. Like,
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
If I was to do it again, I'd get so much shit in writing.
Yeah.
So much shit, which, like, we started doing.
Yeah, we started doing towards the end.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah, I was taking notes of every single meeting and just being like, I'm not taking the fall for any of this when this comes back because I'm doing my part.
Right.
Yeah, I wrote so many meeting note emails, like an insane amount.
Yeah, it's bananas. Like,
because I was just like, oh, like these things you say you're gonna do,
yeah.
I know you're not gonna do it, so I'm gonna put it in an email that you're supposed to do it, so that I have 4 emails of 4 weeks straight where you haven't done that thing you said you were gonna do.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not doing that. I'm not taking the fall for that not getting done.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I over documented everything because I was like, ain't no way I'm taking the fall for any of this.
Yeah, and I will say too, like there are also some structures that don't offer supervisors.
Yeah.
But like they're transparent about it. Right?
Yeah.
And so like if you are looking for a group practice, be mindful of that. Like some don't offer supervision, you will have to pay for that. But like that's how you want to look. So there is like, you know, W-2 type of group practice, and then there's other types of group practices that are like, well, how would you call them?
Are you talking about like collectives?
Yeah, like...
Or like just that you're all 1099s?
Yeah. Which...
Like you're contracted.
Which gets complicated in the therapist community, and
yeah.
People hate it. We'll fight you on it.
Yeah, that's a whole can of worms that we can't even like...
No, we're not the people to talk to about that. Not.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah. What are some other like red flags that, I don't know, maybe we see now that we didn't see then, or that we saw towards the end?
When it sounds like it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that. Do you have like
I hate to say that out loud, but it's...
No, I think that's totally accurate.
I think we both fell for that.
Yeah.
Like, I did, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think is like the number one thing that comes up with that? Like, can you remember anything?
Just like promise of title or promise of pay or promise of like
help, like hiring someone as an assistant, like
or to me even like the promise of like, I can't think of my right word, but like expansion of the business, but like in a like and more of a like us directed way. So like I would almost say like prestige, but that's a little lofty. I don't think that was like a promise, but I feel like it was kind of in the ether up there. Like promises of changes too, right? Of like, oh yeah, like this doesn't like really work very well, so like maybe we like should change that thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of issues with our like third party biller at the time. And like also like full disclosure, we've had issues with our third party biller that we hired and we have since fired.
Right.
And so like I think when you're hiring a third party biller, it's challenging.
Yeah, it's just gonna be hard.
Yeah. And so like now that we've been on the outside, we've hired a third party biller, like we do get it in a different way than we did before. But just like there continue to be issues, and it'd be like, hey, like we should really find a better system or like a better process. Right. I was like, oh yeah, like we should. Yeah. And that would be it. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So many of those promises.
Yeah.
So many of those things, like.
And I think it's so easy to believe people when like I think when it was told to us, it was sincere in part.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like I don't think it was like a lie, but I think with just like therapists in general, they tend to be more like believe the best in people and like be really trusting. And I think those are really lovely things, and I wouldn't encourage anyone to change that. Like I don't want to change that about myself.
Yeah.
But like notice the pattern a little bit faster, maybe. Like I think that would be my feedback to myself. I'm like pick up on it, girl. Like come on, like it's right there.
Yeah, I think it was so, inconsistent bosses are so hard to deal with. Where it would be like, I'm going to promise and deliver, and then I'm going to promise and not deliver.
Yeah, it felt like we were like getting like strung along dopamine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, thinking back on it and like reflecting on it is really like shit.
Yeah.
We went through a lot.
We did. I mean, what for you do you feel like made you stay as long as you did?
That's a really good question. I think the people around me.
Yeah.
So, like,
that's what I would say.
Yeah, and there were so many other people that were so supportive and so amazing to work with all the time. And, like,
gosh, yeah. We met, like, the coolest people.
The coolest people. Yeah. And we hired the coolest people. And, like, I loved working with schools. Like, being able to talk to school directors and school programs and, like, really learn about those things. Like, I loved that. And not to say I can't do that again in the future, but, like, I do miss that.
Yeah, that's so real.
Yeah, but I do think that was something that kept me, was like, oh, I like this job. You know, I like what I'm doing. I don't like the stuff that's happening around it and within it, because I was definitely burned out, but the people kept me, the benefits kept me, having PTO kept me.
Yeah.
But I will say it's not worth it.
Yeah, now that we're on the other side, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
My answer to that same question would be kind of the same thing. Is just like that. And I just had this flash. I'm like, damn, like I should probably go to therapy. But like it was really nice to feel needed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we felt very critical to the, like, life force of the practice.
Yeah.
And, like, I will say that was one of the most meaningful pieces of that job for me, was, like, having somebody, like, make a request or, like, have an ask or, like, need an accommodation or need some kind of support or whatever. And it might be, like, a little bit off the beaten track of, like, what I had done before or historically what the company had done or whatever. And creatively finding a way to make it work and like pushing it through and advocating and like setting it in stone, basically.
Yeah.
And like really supporting that person regardless of like all these other things. And to me that was such a meaningful thing, because it was so my hope for the people that I was able to do that for. Like my hope was that it was like so critical to their own like professional development and like growth. That it was like, how could that not be meaningful? And like supporting this person and their livelihood, but like, and what they want to do and what they feel called to do, all these things. So it's like,
yeah,
that was so meaningful to me, and I like felt really critical in being able to do that.
Yeah.
And like, so that felt like such a needed role. Yeah. And I was like, I'm doing it. I'm like not only am I like helping clients, but I'm like also behind the scenes, like helping all these people helping clients. And like the ripple effect of that was like, oh, I'm like doing so much.
Totally.
Which was like such a like lovely feeling.
Yeah, I even remember having conversations with you before we left about like we wanting to create a business where clinicians felt safe and felt respected and supported and all of that. Like we talk about that all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that is our number one like value in our company, and even the company we had worked for before. Like and it's a bummer that there was a mismatch of values in that system. Yeah. But we tried so hard.
Yeah, we did.
And I do miss supporting those people, and I do think that's probably why like I try so hard to advocate for my associates, even though there's like not really anything to advocate for them with right now. I'm like,
there's no battles to fight. Put me in the war.
Let me find something. Trauma.
Let me be drafted. Draft me.
Yeah.
That's so fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a good point.
Yeah. Are there any other red flags that you can think of?
Go to a woman-owned business?
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, how many are there? Not many.
Not many. You know, I think, I don't know if this is necessarily a red flag, but like, when you visit like a website of a group practice, when you talk to a group practice owner or a director, how does that person make you feel? Right? Like, not necessarily how does the business structure make you feel? Like, that's a big part.
Yeah, like
but
the pros
also,
and cons, basically.
Like, how do those people make you feel? How does the website make you feel? You know, like, if I could change anything about the old company, it would have been their website. But, like, that is so important, right? And I think we were the face of that company for so long that, like, that's why we were able to build that. But looking back, I think if I had followed my gut, it would be different.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I took the job initially, I thought it was either going to be the worst job of my life or the best.
Same.
I was either like, this guy is absolutely high as a kite and has no idea what he's doing, and it's going to be like the absolute worst.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Yeah.
Like, it has enough of the things that I've been looking for that, like, I'm just going to roll the dice.
Yeah.
And I also, at that point, too, like, I was really close to licensure. So I was like, if it's really bad, I'll just get my license and I'll dip.
Yeah.
Because once I had my license, it was like, the door opened up and I could really go anywhere.
Yeah, I was just getting licensed as I got the job. So I got licensed before taking the job. And there was a lot of promises in my first meeting. And that was, you know, but it was that thing, I needed to get out of community mental health. I wasn't ready to run a second business at that time. Like, not by myself. Hell no.
Yeah, no.
And
I couldn't even, I mean, I hadn't even really technically been in a therapist role until that job.
That's right.
So, like, the idea of going out on my own, like, that was so far outside the realm of possibility. Like, that was never going to happen. Like, that was...
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was never going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did therapy-esque things, but not anywhere close to, like, what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely think, like, pay attention to your gut.
Yeah.
Listen to how somebody makes you feel. Listen to how, like, a website make you feel. Like, I know that sounds so silly, but, like, if I go look at my website, I'm like, I could go talk to these people.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You're like, oh, it's so cutesies.
Yeah. And then there's others where I'm like, oh, these are really warm and, like, rich and inviting. And then there's others where it's like,
this feels sterile.
Yeah.
Or, like, hard to look at.
Yeah. Like, too many words. Yeah. So, like, really, you know, is your stomach giving you red flags? Better listen to that.
Yeah. If the person gives you a job offer, like, in your initial interview, after 20 minutes.
Yeah. 10?
Yeah, it was only 20 minutes for me because I, like, asked a ton of questions.
Of course you did.
Well, yeah.
I didn't really need to because I had already...
You already knew.
I already knew. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Well, also, like, background, too, I had been looking for almost a year.
Right.
And so I had interviewed at other group practices, but at the time, a lot of group practices did not hire associates, so it was really hard to find.
Yeah.
And there were a couple places that, like, I got job offers from, or they were like, oh, you're not niche enough that we're going to be able to get you private pay clients, so, like, no.
Right.
And then there were other ones that, like, wanted me, and I was like, so you don't have supervision, and I have to work weekends, and I have no flexibility over my schedule, and, like, all these things, and I was like, this is like, no.
Yeah, no.
Why would I, like, I don't want to work weekends. Like, if you're not working weekends, why would I have, like...
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I even had one... I think I told you this. I even had one practice tell me, like, well, it'll be, like, slower to build up, but, like, other people, like, go get a job at Starbucks or, like...
Yes. Yeah, you did tell me about that.
And I was literally like, so you want me to leave my 40-hour week paid job to work at Starbucks...
Part-time?
Part-time, so I can have time for client...
Yeah, no.
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 I'm not going to be doing that.
No.
He also recorded the interview.
The Starbucks person?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah. I don't think that's a thing that they do anymore, but if that happens, you should not do that. Yeah. I mean, he asked my permission, and I was kind of like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I even talked to a therapist today.
Who records interviews?
That's weird. That's so weird.
Like, if
What's
you want to
the point?
record interviews, then have an HR person there.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I so badly want to know what this place was because I don't remember.
It's okay, I'll tell you.
Okay.
After we record.
I talked to a therapist this morning who used to work for a practice that we know of, and her and I talked about, like, kind of these, like, toxic group practice behaviors, and she was like, I really regret and wish I would have followed my gut at the beginning because I just knew that something felt off. And she brought up the things like scaling and all of that was like, that's what ruined it for her.
Yeah.
Was like all of this, we're going to be big and we're going to put up billboards and banana stuff that she was like, this just doesn't meet my values anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And she started there when they had like 5 people.
That's almost close to what we were.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I started, well, we started the same month, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was only, like, there's less than 10.
Yep. And that was only a couple years before we started at our old job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah, so for context, we started a company, group practice, with like less than 10 clinicians.
Mm-hmm.
And within a little over 5 years, we both became directors and grew the company to like 90.
Yeah. Yeah. Very fast.
Yeah, because I think like the first year, I would probably say 4 years. Because I think the first year we were like just becoming like supervisors and then like kind of power grabbing for our titles.
I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, we became supervisors and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, we have all these people now.
And then we like need more like
management.
Intermediate.
Yeah.
Intermediate.
And then from there it was like this exponential growth, and the next thing we know, we were like looking at our numbers. Like I remember a conversation we had where I think we asked in a meeting, how many clients or how many clinicians do you think we have? Remember? And our boss was like 25. And Olivia and I look at each other on camera and are just like, how about 75? And I think it was 75 because I remember it being 70 something, and I remember this conversation and it just being like mind blowing. Like, if your boss doesn't know how many clients or clinicians you have, yikes, bro.
Yeah,
yeah. And then we kept growing, and they're still growing.
Yeah. Best of luck to you.
Literally.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So, what do you think? I mean, was there any what was the most valuable thing that we can take away from that job that we are still using?
I mean, if I had to really sum it up into one thing, I think I would just say confidence in myself, that I can figure things out, that I can get through things, that I know what I'm doing, and if I don't, then I'm willing to learn. Admit that I don't know it and learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's the skill that has been the most valuable.
Yeah.
Other than taking you with me.
Right. I was going to say something a little more crass, and I was going to be like, we're boss-ass bitches. Yeah. But that's the same thing, right? Knowing that I did have the skills to do something like what we're doing now. I think without that job, without that experience, I don't know if I would be as good as I am now.
Yeah. And also, to be clear, it's not that... I don't want to paint this picture that I was some vulnerable victim. Neither of us were.
No.
We were super passive. Because let me be very, very clear. I bullied for my title.
Oh yeah.
I fucking bullied.
She bullied for me too.
Yeah, I bullied for my title.
Yeah.
And
truly.
I literally remember being like, hey, it's gonna be clinical director. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's fine, whatever. I get the paperwork. It's counseling director. I just emailed HR. Actually, it's clinical. Oh, so sorry. Got it updated. Technically, I didn't even ask my boss.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's supposed to be clinical. Changed it, signed it. It's great, I'm clinical director now.
Yeah, I did.
Can't change it.
I did the same thing because mine came to me as internship coordinator.
Nope.
And I was like, no, director. Yeah. Internship director.
And I think the values in which we try to operate in and are really important to us are also things that carried us through that experience, because we were both really transparent with each other about how much we were making and how much we were taking on, conversations we were having, all those things. And so I think that also really benefited us because I think we're able to catch the vibe sooner and leave.
Yeah. And if you truly think about it, technically, you and I have been running a company for 6 years now, almost.
Yeah, we were running the company.
We were running a company. We were running a big company. Not a company we necessarily wanted to be running, but did at the same time.
We wanted to be running it, but we wanted to actually be in control, have the ownership. Yeah. Or at least the end goal of being able to have some level of ownership.
Which, to be clear, was potential.
Yes.
That was something that was kind of
that was one of the promises.
Yes.
That was one of the promises.
So.
And we followed up on that promise.
We did.
And that follow-up did not go well.
Which is why we got fired. Which I don't think we've said on this podcast yet.
Yeah. We got fired,
We were fired. We were let go on a Monday.
In the middle of a client session.
Yeah.
Via email.
Yeah.
After 5 years at the company.
Yep. And I just happened to be in town.
Yeah.
And
so Andrea came over and we hung out all day because we didn't have anything to do.
Literally, I was at my dad's house and I was calling my Uber to go to our office to see clients in person that day.
Yeah, I was working because I was in the middle of a client session.
You were working. And we were like, you called me, I think, and you're like, is it a tech issue? Like, what's going on? And then we find out. Yeah. And then I was just like, can I come over? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Most bananas day ever.
Yeah, because like background too, we had given her notice. We had given we talked a lot about this personally of like, what are the ethics of giving notice? How long of notice do we want to give? How much of a heads up? How transparent do we want to be? Because we knew that like the more transparent we were, the more vulnerable we were to this like exact scenario of being fired or like retaliation essentially.
Yeah, it had crossed our mind. We had literally talked about it.
Yeah. And so we talked a lot, and like I think both of us like facetiously, passive aggressively wanted to give a 2-week notice.
Yeah, we
like,
did.
I like so wanted to do that.
We did.
And the only reason I think we really decided against that was the people. Yeah. Because that was such a big reason why we stayed for so long.
Yeah. We truly did not want the company to crash and burn with us leaving. And if we had...
Yeah, and we didn't think that it would if we left, but we want to be able to like set it up for success because...
Exactly.
Gosh, we invested so much time.
So much.
Like, why would we want it to fail? Like, that seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like why would I want to do that? Like, I've worked with these people for years.
Right. We were following our ethics as therapists that we felt were appropriate and was the best, and we did nothing. We did nothing wrong.
Yeah, we gave a like very healthy...
Like, what, 4 months?
Yeah, we gave a 4-month notice, basically.
Yeah.
Which is like a long amount of time.
And got fired like halfway, right?
No.
Just over halfway?
No, we had a month left.
Oh, that's right. We had a month left.
Yeah, we both had about a month left.
It's so crazy to me.
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, like, best of luck over there, but like...
Yeah. I think just like for anybody who's interested in group practice, I think it can be really well done. I think that there are group practices that do a really, really good job and that can offer support to so many clinicians, you know, especially like I think about disabled clinicians that need healthcare, like that is such a better route for a lot of people and something that they need to do for themselves, and we totally get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, follow your gut, ask questions, like, just because it's a group practice doesn't mean that they know what they're doing.
Or that they, like, are as ethical as they may seem.
Yeah.
And encouragement, too, like, stick it out, right? Like, there are a lot of group practices out there, so like keep looking. Don't give up if you feel like one isn't a good fit, but you like really want to get out of wherever you are, whatever the case may be. There are good practices out there. I would do your homework. I would ask the questions.
Yeah, just kind of talk to other therapists.
I think something I'd also think ahead about as an associate looking at group practices is like, it was kind of similar to the retention thing, but a lot of people who get fully licensed, they go private practice. Yeah. That's like the very natural progression. Very. Very natural. Like just across the board it happens. So I would ask about that in an interview. Be like, hey, like how do you support people once they're fully licensed, and like what does that look like? And like, do you often have a lot of people that leave, or do you often have a lot of people that stay, and like what makes people stay? Yeah. Because then you're going to get a good sense of like how much there's weirdness around non-compete or non-disparagement, or like if they're going to like try to keep you or like discourage you from going private practice.
Or give you a raise or not. Yeah. Like, I did hear of some practice out there that wasn't giving people raises for getting licensed, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's bonkers.
That's bananas. That is very common practice. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, totally. I would agree with that.
Yeah, because I think one of the things we've talked about is how can we set up our business so that it can be easy for people to launch off on their own if that's what they want, and be like really open and transparent about that, because like it's just, it happens. Like why would you create so much rigmarole around preventing it when like it happens across the board? There's no point to like,
it's so common,
create a cluster about it.
Totally. Yeah. I think, you know, too, like that's something we want to create, like you said, is a structure that will support people if they don't want to go out on their own fully, but to have support in a community, because going out on your own could be really lonely. Like, it could be really isolating.
Yeah.
So, you know, asking those good questions about how do you support licensed folks makes so much sense.
Yeah. I think, like, we're really big on, like, informing people and educating people. I think that's part of our transparency, but that's, I think, one of the things, the other thing I would highlight is, like, when you're meeting with other practices, do they feel informative? Like, do they feel like they're providing, like, educational information and you feel like you know more about what's going on? Not just about them, but just, like, generally.
Yeah.
That's a good vibe.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if you've had this experience, but I feel like I've met, just in consults for associates lately, where we're talking and they're constantly like, oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Or, like, I like that. That's interesting. Like...
Oh, all the time.
Really engaging with us about, like, oh, I didn't know that thing could exist.
Or, like, or you could do it that way. Or, like, oh, like, nobody's ever said that. I didn't know. Or, yeah. All the time.
And so it's like, that's good, right? Like, that's education. We're not telling anyone to do it a specific way at all. No. I mean, I'll admit sometimes I'm like, don't do that thing. But...
Not in a, like, because you should come with us.
Yeah, never. But it's almost empowering for me to feel like the expert in that.
Yeah.
You know?
What a, like, full circle moment. Only, like, being a year in business and being like, okay, like, this is what you should think about or look out for. When, like, a year ago we were researching the same thing.
I know. Oh my gosh. Like, how do you open a private practice in Washington?
What do you do?
What do you do? What do I need? It's not as scary as it feels.
You're right, yeah.
It's not. I think it seemed so much scarier many years ago. And it's really not. Like, if you put your heart to it and you have the confidence and the drive to do it, it's okay. Yeah. And the support to do it, too, right? Like, even if you're doing it on your own, you should have people in your corner.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, gosh, if you don't have that, then, like, that's a bigger problem.
100%. 100%.
My goodness. Well, cheers to us. 1 year in business.
Cheers.
I like so excited for the future. I think we're going to continue to do really amazing things. I think this business is going to be like, just like the coolest thing.
We have so many goals that we want to achieve, like,
and I have no doubt in my mind that both of us can do them.
And they're not lofty, crazy, outrageous goals.
Like, we want to be in every state.
We don't want billboards. We don't want to be in every state.
I want a billboard of you.
I want a billboard of you behind my house.
Ooh.
So I can see it every day when I come home. I think having an in-person office would be fun one day, even if I'm not there. Like,
I won't be there, but sure.
But, like, even if we just built one and be like, oh, we have a building.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm not as on board with the whole in-person office.
That's fair.
Maybe, but...
We'll see one day. I just think, like, when I go see a lobby that's really cool, like this weekend, I'm like, I miss this.
I would be hands down... I would love to decorate it.
Yeah, exactly.
And design it. I don't know if I'd actually want to use it or have other people use it.
You and I would never be there.
We'll actually just use it for, like, podcast recording. If we're making it okay, we need to table that. Well, thanks for joining us for our, like, special anniversary episode where we also get to be in person, which is, like, pretty rare.
And we wore our branding colors.
And we didn't match. Actually, that's really...
That was the real good moment.
I almost pulled out a blue shirt, and I was like, I swear if I get out there with a blue shirt, she's going to be wearing one. So, like, I'll put on hot pink, because I know she doesn't have any hot pink.
No, I don't. Thank you guys so much for another listen. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. And we'll see you in a Rabbit Trail episode.
Yeah, get ready.
Woohoo!
See ya!
Bye!
This podcast is for entertainment, informational, and educational purposes only. Although the hosts are licensed therapists, this podcast is not a substitute for professional mental health services. Listening to this podcast does not create a therapist-client relationship.
If you are experiencing mental health concerns, please seek help from a qualified mental health professional in your area. If you are in crisis, call or text a suicide prevention line in your country immediately. In the U.S., you can call or text 988 or use online chat at 988lifeline.org.